Hey, how's it going? And today we're going to be talking about how to migrate Lira assets into Unreal Engine 5.2. I guess maybe it is easy to do, but it's just time consuming, and I found it to be incredibly frustrating because if you try to do it in 5.2, you're going to get all kinds of errors. And so I'm going to just show you how I'm doing it. The question might come up, why are you doing this? Like, why are we migrating assets in the first place? And the answer to that is that Lira, for example, has a lot of animations in it that we could take advantage of, but we need to get them into the current engine version so that we can do that. So unfortunately, when I tried to migrate in 5.2, I got all kinds of errors and it didn't work. So what I discovered is you have to migrate first in 5.0.3. You can migrate without errors there, and then once you have your assets in that game, then you can upgrade that to 5.2. So it's a really roundabout way to do things, but things have changed so much in just a year that you can't migrate Lira in 5.2 to 5.2. So you'll open up Lira assets in 5.2, you can open it up in 5.2, but you can't migrate it to another project in 5.2. You have to do it in 5.0. So this is what we're doing today. So if I come into my library, I'll speed through this part of it, but we're going to go ahead and launch 5.0.3, and it's actually loading up Lira right now, which I don't know why it's doing that. It should give me the option to just choose what I want to load up, but it's automatically loading the last thing that I just did, which is the Lira starter game. So that's kind of weird. I don't know why it's doing this. So that's another issue that I've been having. So what you have to do is go into your 5.0. Let's just call it 5.0. So go into Unreal Engine 5.0 and open up a new project. That's what I'm trying to do right now. As you can see, it's trying to open up an old project that I did. So anyway, this is the Lira starter content in 5.0. This is what this is. But I don't want this. I want a new project. So now I've got to come in here and go new project. This is what I want. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go into, let's go into the third person template game, and we'll just call this my project 2. I'll just call it Lira migrate because I might have some other ones already called that migration. And I'll show you why we're doing this in the first place. I apologize for how much time this takes. Okay, so now it's going to load up. This will go pretty quick, this part of it. So it's opening up new project, which is great. And it just takes a little bit to do that. Okay, so that's great. There's our project. And we want to do this in a, let's say we want, within here, let's say we want to do this in a new blank basic level here inside of. So this is the level that we want to load everything into. So let's say we're going to go into file, I believe it is. No, it's edit. No, it's file. Save current level as, and let's just save this in our third person map folder here, and I'll just leave it called new map. So now we've saved this basic level, and this is what we'll be working with. Now we go back into Epic Games here, and then we'll go back into the library, and make sure you're on launch, you're on the 5.0 engine. I have almost every version, but you want to make sure you're on 5.0 version. And if you don't have it, you're gonna need to download it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to the Lira starter game, and you're gonna go create project, and then it'll open it up in 5.03 or whatever version of the engine you're in. So go create game, and this will take a while to do. So you should have a side project going. So just go create project. I've already created it, but you'll go ahead and create it in 5.0. You have an option here to change it, but keep it in 5.0. So then there's that. So since I already have that open, that's this Lira. If I come here, Lira starter game, you'll see. And you see how many times I've done it, but it's here. So it's Lira starter game content in 5.0. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And it takes a minute. The first time you do it, it might have to compile shaders, and again, that takes some time. So I would say to not waste your whole life away is have a side project that you're working on while this is going on, because it seems like there's a lot of downtime when you're going through all this, and it is kind of frustrating. I found it frustrating, but like I said, one of the reasons you'd want to do this is so that you could take advantage of all the assets that are within Lyra. Okay, so now here we are, and this is kind of the meat and potatoes of things. So with Lyra open, then what we do is we can go into the characters here, under Heroes, Mannequin, Meshes, and we'll right click on the SKM Quinn. We'll go to Asset Actions, and we'll go to Migrate. And we're going to take everything. We can go through and handpick all this, but it's just it's too time consuming. So the only thing we don't want is a control rig. And we're going to get actually kind of a message if we select control rig. So we're just going to skip doing that. And then we're just going to go OK. And then we're going to go into our Unreal projects here. And we're going to go to that blank project we're just working on, the Lyra migration. Click on the content folder and go select folder. And it should go where you get this content migration completed successfully. Then that means you did everything right, which is fantastic. So then you're done. So now we're going to come into animations now. And this is the advantage of why we were doing this in the first place. If you come into actions, look at all these animations that are available to us. Look at them all. That's a lot. I think that's even more than the animation starter pack. Of course, it seems like a lot of gun loading animations, but still, you know, that's a lot to choose from. Then there's even more than this to choose from. So this is a nice, basically it's an animation starter pack. You can think of it as kind of an upgraded. So anyway, on here, we come back into the folders level. We're going to select the actions folder, hold down control, the aim offsets, and the locomotion. And then we're going to right click, go migrate. And then all we're going to do here, again, you could go through and cherry pick what you want to do, but we'll just collapse this here. And we're just going to check off all those, the top three right there. And we're going to go OK. Now you might get a message, we'll pick our folder again here, the content folder. You might get a message that it's going to find stuff that already exists. There's some duplicates there, but just say yes to all. And then you'll get another message that everything worked out. So that's great, right? So we're in 5.0, we're able to migrate our Lyra assets over. If you tried to go do this in 5.2, you're going to get all kinds of errors you won't believe. So now once that's done, we can actually go ahead and we're going to close out of these two projects that we just did. We can save them, but just go ahead and close them. And then I'm going to do is we're going to go into our, we have to go into where we keep our folders here, our game project folders. So I think mine's in the C drive under Unreal projects here. Let's see, it's in documents here. I have stuff all over the place. Okay, so it's in here, and it's this one right here. So if we double click and open this folder, we get on this file right here, the .u project, we'll right click, and then it's going to say switch Unreal Engine version. Then we're going to switch to 5.2 and go OK. And then double click it. And now it's going to open up. We're going to get this message here. It sounds like a military operation. SM6 is missing. So what we can do for that is we just come in here to edit, project settings, and search for that. SM6 was it? This one? So we just have to check that box and restart it. Okay, so now the whole thing is going to update and upgrade. So, but just to summarize what we did is you open up the Lyra starter game in 5.0. You open up a blank project in 5.0. Then you migrate the assets like we just showed. And then once you close those out, you open up the blank project that you migrated the assets into, and then you convert that to 5.2. And then we upgrade it like we just did with the SM6. So now we're back to where we kind of started from, but now we're in 5.2 and we have all our Lyra assets. And now the advantage of this is that this has all the enhanced input functions already mapped out for us and everything. So we're saving ourselves some headaches, even though it doesn't seem like we're saving ourselves some headaches. So all we have to do to kind of get started on this, and this is where we're going to wrap up in just a minute, is if I click in here to the new map and we have our blank level, if I hit play, you know, that's my standard third-person character, right? But what we're going to do now is we're going to swap that one out. So we're going to come in here, double-click on there, and this is what I mean about this is a better way to do it because everything's already mapped out for us. We can just swap out our skeletal mesh asset here with the Lira one. Compile and save. And I hit play. There's our Lira person. Fully functional and moving around. And now we're ready to start creating maybe a new game using some of these Lira assets. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I'll try to be back. I want to start exploring animations and getting into blend spaces and things like that. So stick around and hopefully you'll get something out of this. I'll talk to you.